Hello everyone, Gear Show and Teller here. I am about halfway through my knife collection and I wanted to use this time as a intermission. Just like how a long play would have an intermission to go potty, get some refreshments and whatnot. I wanted to do the same here, just to keep my channel from being stale. My name, Gear Show and Teller. When I would say call me Teller for short, I thought it was just something clever I came up with. It would be real cool. But later on, I started this uh, January I think. It it started to feel lame. Uh, If someone were to say Teller, I wouldn't look. I wouldn't react and look. It's not a name that I can identify with. So, I will let you all know my first name. Hello everyone, Gear Show and Teller here. Call me Mario. So, some more information. I do live in California, so you can already tell what the knife laws and the gun laws are around me. I am 31 years old, turning 32 in September, and I am Filipino. Okay. Um, I'm making this video also. I felt I've had some thoughts and feelings hit me lately, and I wanted to talk about it. And why not share with you, my viewers? It also involves more about me in my past. When I was when I was younger, I graduated high school in 1999. When I was younger, my upbringing, it's not very, I don't know how to say it. It's gonna sound like I'm bashing on my mother and father, but I'm not. They were brought up that way, the way they were brought up in the Philippines, and they're the first generation Filip. If you're Filipino or you know about it, they're the typical first generation Filipinos that migrated from the Philippines into America. I didn't have a whole lot of encouragement. I didn't have enrichment. Uh, when I did something good, or if I was doing something good, there wasn't any high fives, good job, Mario. There wasn't a lot of physical hugging and so forth. If I was doing good, I was left alone. If I was doing bad, if I did something bad, good example would be bad grades. I got lectured by my father, and we're talking 3 to 4 hours of a lecture. So I had to sit there. Maybe he'll let me go to the bathroom and so forth. My mom's the one that would do the shouting. She would shout at us because I'm brother number two of four. I have one older brother and two younger brothers. And going down, my older brother and me, we got the same treatment. Brother number three, it lined up. Brother number four, he's special needs. He's special needs, so he doesn't get the heavy duty treatment. But across all four brothers, it's still the same. Very little encouragement, enrichment, positive reinforcement, and a lot of negative reinforcement. We did something bad, we got bad grades, it was lectures from my father and shouting from my mom, and then grounded, of course. You can't go out and see our friends and so forth. Again, I'm not bashing on my parents. They were brought up the way they were brought up, and uh, I do have a degree in psychology. I do have a degree. I went to school, just like the typical Filipino family would do. I went to school, and from taking my psychology classes, I understand a little bit of what's been going on. I very well could have become a gang member. I could have started doing drugs, become an alcoholic. All because of I didn't have a great place to vent, a great place to express myself. It was very growing up. I I didn't have a way to express myself, especially in front of my parents. It might sound surprising to you. I was expected to behave the way they wanted me to behave. If we were messing around, my brothers and I, when we were eating, we would hear, "Hey, stop that. Respect your food. Eat your food." There wasn't a whole lot of joy in my upbringing. So I very well could have been, just to act out. I could have done bad things on purpose just to get attention, but that wasn't me. Typically, the ones who don't get a lot of attention from their parents would do bad things so that they get attention, whether they realize it or not. Whether or not they realize that's what they're doing. And any teenager, that could happen to any teenager. No. I was also shy myself. Also shy. So if I was left alone, I had my Nintendo. I would talk to my friends on the phone because I wasn't able to go out a lot. Even in my later high school years, as a junior and a senior, I had a truck. I knew how to drive. I had a license at 16, and I learned how to drive a manual pickup truck, manual transmission pickup truck. My very first truck ever. Still have it. It just doesn't run anymore. I very restricted on social, my social outlook. I'm not sure if I'm using the right word. I wasn't very social, period. So I was the wallflower whenever there would be someone, a girl that I had a crush on every girl in high school. Every pretty girl I had a crush on. That's how I was. I wasn't shy. I wasn't outgoing. I kept in my little bubble, and whatever was outside of my bubble made me feel uncomfortable. Okay, let me speed this up. The point of this story is that now I am more outgoing. I'm not very deathly afraid of what people think of me. Because I guess it started in middle school where I learned Taekwondo. My father put me and my older brother into a Taekwondo school, and we had about a good 3 years of training. My older brother stopped because my dad stopped paying. There was some debate about how he treats the customers, how my instructor would treat the other customers. My brother stopped, but my interest in it never ever stopped because it was a way for me to express myself. I started using Taekwondo martial arts as an outlet for me to express myself and relieve stresses of my daily life. It was the only place I could express myself. The only place was martial arts, Taekwondo. I am now currently a Taekwondo instructor myself for an outreach program in the city that I live in. I see one group of students once a week for about 45 minutes each class time. It's an outreach program. It's not a set studio. And I love the job. It doesn't pay much, but I love the job. It it helped me have an outlet to be more outgoing, uh, to treat my students the way I wasn't treated. This could be a very long video if I started giving you more details. Let me shorten this up. The phrase "treat others the way you would want to be treated" is very true. Subconsciously, if let's say you were brought up by your parents and you were beaten as punishment for doing something bad, you in turn, whether you wanted to or not, would do that to your own children. And your child might get seriously hurt before you realized what was happening. You could say all your life, "Oh, I'm never going to be like my father. I'm never going to be like my mother. I'm never going to treat them the way they treated me." When in fact, in the future, if you're not on your guard, on your A game, it does happen. When I first started out instructing, that's exactly what I was doing. I would pay a lot of attention to the people, to the students, not doing well. Shout at them, make them do push-ups, and the ones who were doing good, I left them alone. I realized that about 2 years after I started, and like that, when I caught myself, I knew I had to stay on my A game. To catch myself, to give praise to those who are doing well, and equal attention to those who need to be disciplined. The word is balance, equality. And that's how martial arts, Taekwondo was my way of staying out of drugs, staying out of gangs, and so forth. I owe a lot to Taekwondo. Taekwondo is my life. It's not a hobby, it's not an activity, it's not a sport. It is my life. It's my lifestyle. It is my lifestyle. So, as of right now, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I never joined the gang. I do collect knives, as you all know from this channel. And I think I turned out well. But that's only because I was able to catch myself. Some other people, some other kids, they're going to grow up without that kind of distinction, without that kind of thought process. And that's what I try to do with my students. Even though I have very little time with them, I do what I can. I do have a Facebook profile, but I will not share that with you. That's for my students only. And I converse with whoever I can. Whatever I can do, I will do it. And there's a saying for teachers called, teachers, we're not in it for the income, we're in it for the outcome. I'm very much that way. I don't get paid much. So my knife collection isn't as grand as some other channels on here. I don't have a Sabenza. I don't have Striders. I do want a Sabenza, and I do want a Strider, but that's going to come very later on in my life. Or unless I win the lottery. Okay, well, I thank you for watching this video, and from now on, call me Mario. That's my first name. And, well, Gear Show and Teller, signing out.